good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. I am in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So today's topic, I'm going to start with the first topic. It's about the sorrowful state of our black and colored communities. So why I say this is because I'm just taking South Africa. Okay, oh, you mutuals, okay. Yeah, I noticed that. Yes, I noticed that. But I know the other day I had to mute him because he was causing such a issue on the live stream. And I was worried that, what is this thing that TikTok would cut my live stream because they're a bit, they already sent me a thing here to say that they're going to, what is that thing they say? They will monitor they will filter the comments. So I have to keep checking to open comments if they've been filtered. Okay, so the first thing why I said our communities are in a shambles is because the one thing I said, they are very unclean. I would say unclean, unkept. You guys tell me whether I'm right or I'm just talking rubbish. I feel they're always unclean, unkept. Things are broken. And then the second thing I said is that the crime rate is very high amongst our people. And I'm talking our people, our people, I mean blacks and whites. Okay, even Indians. So I'm just going to say non-whites because I don't want to keep saying black, colored in non-whites. Non-white mean anyone that is not white. Okay? Crime rates are high. And then the third thing I said was unclean, unkept, crime rate is high. I can't remember. Does anyone remember what I said earlier on? Okay, let me just pin this. They said I have to pin this. What was the other thing I said? Unclean, crime. Oh, chaotic. Chaotic meaning like we don't even have a proper bus schedule. We don't have a proper bus. The taxis are all over the place. It's just a mess. It is just a complete mess. Now, why I'm bringing this up is because I saw a video where they were showing a beach in Belgium. And it was full of black people. And nothing was said. They were just showing it. And I was looking at the beach and oh my goodness, it was filthy. People were fighting. It was just chaos. So you had crime, you had uncleanliness, and you had, it's chaotic, all the things I spoke about. And then I was watching another video today of this guy that I follow on YouTube. And he's been talking, talking about how great Oranje is because, I don't know if you all know what Oranje is. It's this whites only town because, they're so progressive. They do blah, blah, which is true. They do all these wonderful, wonderful things. And then he's trying to encourage our communities to be like them. The thing is, he's not being specific about what it is about them that we must focus on, because we must also remember that that is an exclusively white town. All other races are excluded. So that is not the route that I want to go down for our people. Because he was saying, oh yes, us coloreds, we must also have our own place like they have and keep it clean. And he's being serious, not like us the other day where we were just making like a hypothetical. And what I want to do here is I don't want to talk about us making our communities exclusive to only our races, because the apartheid is over. All right, everybody? Is everybody on board with me? The 4 who are watching here. Do you all know what the topic is? If you don't know, you can ask me. I'll explain again. I want our communities. I want us to talk about our communities. Why is it unclean? Why is it unkept? Why are things broken? Why is the crime rate so high? Why is it chaotic? That's what I want to talk about. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about how we must, thanks for the likes, coloreds must now make their area colored exclusive, and then the blacks must make it exclusive, like apartheid, you know, group. I'm talking about how can we together, whichever community you live in, make it better. Okay? Because everybody keeps talking about, oh, it's the ANC. They don't fix the pipes. There's no electricity. The police don't do anything. Yes, this is true. But you know, as a community, everything starts with us, the people living in the community. Because I remember when I was young, I'm Gen X, because I know now, and anyway, it's our fault because we are not good parents. That's why our children are running amok. Okay? But in my days, our parents, because it started in the home, to be clean, to be non-violent, to not steal, to have respect for other people's property, to have respect for your own property, to have respect for your elders, for authority like your teachers, for policemen, for your neighbor. This was all instilled in us in the home. The respect, love, and fear for God, all of this was instilled in our home. And we were afraid of our parents. We were very strict. And we were also afraid of the other people, the other elders in the community. Because if we were doing something naughty outside, some auntie will come and put you straight. She'll put you straight right there, and then her rollers will be flying. She'll be clapping you there with a slipper because you're swearing or you are vandalizing or bullying somebody. It was very different. And that's why our communities during my time, it had nothing to do with apartheid. Like I said in my other video, yes, we had, I've got a flash go. Let me quickly do this. I said in my other video that, yes, we had the police patrolling us. We were under martial law, which is a lockdown, so that we cannot go out. And then you've got police watching everything you do. So, of course, there's no crime. And then, you know, some stupid colored actually said, yes, we should bring martial law back. Because you are a Gen Y millennial. You don't know what apartheid and martial law is like. That's why you can just happily say, bring it back. So my thing is, our communities are in the state that they are in, and our people, because we must be honest, who is committing the worst and the most crime in South Africa? It's the non-whites. It's not the white people. It's the non-whites. The carjackings, the kidnappings, the Indians top there. Carjacking, kidnapping, murder, rape, pedophilia, gang violence, you name it. We are in the front. Am I right or am I wrong? What do you all think? Am I right about that? Or am I just talking rubbish? Like a lot of people they'll tell me I'm talking rubbish. Everyone that's here, what do you all think about that? Do you all think I'm talking rubbish? Hi, those who have joined. Sorry, it's a very serious topic tonight. Because I'm serious about this, that our communities are in such a shambles. My high school just burned down the other day. Yeah, I am proceeding, but I need to know. I need some answers here. What do you all think about what I just said? Do you think that all this is happening because there is a lack of proper parental control and guidance, and that all this must already be implemented in the home? What do you all think? Hi, Clivo. Yeah, happy you're here. Hopefully you'll come into the box. I don't know if you know what today's topic is, but I'll just tell you again. We're talking about, I put there black and colored communities, but I'm just going to say non-white because the Indians, some Indian also told me this afternoon, but our communities are also in a shambles, okay? It's about the non-white communities. What can we do about it? Because they are unclean. And this is not all, okay? I'm generalizing. Unclean, unkept, things are broken. Crime rate is very high. It's chaotic. Children are rude, disrespectful. There isn't even there's no bus schedule. There's no bus. It's just taxis all over the place. Everything is just, there's no order. And like I was telling everybody, what during my time, because I'm Gen X, it was not like that. And people will always say, oh yes, because the apartheid was better, it was good. No, they like to give credit to the apartheid that everything was like in order. The only thing that the apartheid did contribute to that orderliness, and also the crime rate that it was low in our townships is because there was martial law most of the time. Martial law means you're under lockdown and you have the police and the riot squad like everywhere. They're standing there with their guns. We'll be playing hopscotch and hikey clip and Chinese rope and khadia and all that. And there'll be soldiers with guns watching us. You know, we were used to that kind of life. And then at certain time you have to go in. But what I'm saying, right, I'll get to that. You write about this. I'll get to you, Lou. I can't see so far. Sorry, my glasses are not that good. What I'm saying is because in my days, our parents had a lot of control over us. They were very strict and we feared them. We respected and feared them. And discipline, everything was already, it started in the house. And even when you went into the neighborhood, all the older people, especially the elders, they would control what was going on. So you could not get out of hand vandalizing and swearing and hitting and fighting and being a gangster. It was very difficult because everybody was watching you. You do something wrong, like I said, some auntie with a slipper will come there and wallop you. Your snot will make a ring around your head. But now our children, and it's my fault, like I said, it's my generation, because our children are just running amok. We didn't raise our children, you know, we pamper them too much. They took piperach. So they, you know, the violence and that. Okay, so, okay, let me just read. This person here said, because I asked, do you think we should go back to that being strict parents in the house? And this person said it can be implemented at home, but the street is teaching us something else. That is why I say when it comes to the street, this is when the other people who are on the street control. Like I said, in my days, if there's people in the street and you are doing something wrong, they will tell you off. They will take action. They will call your parents. Your mother will come running down the street with her rollers and a wet dishcloth, because she was probably still drying the dishes, and she will wallop you in front of everybody, and it will be eyeballs. We call it eyeballs. It's embarrassing. You are humiliated and you would never do it again. Our teachers used to make us stand in the dustbins during break. It was a clean dustbin, but they put it in the middle of the netball field, and you'll stand in there and everybody will know what you did. We are what our parents told us not to be. Yeah, but I don't know, I blame the parents, because like I say, it has to start in the home. And then again, like I say, when you come into the street, why are all the other people not controlling what's going on? Because these things that are happening, it's normally the youth that are committing these things, right? When I'm talking, let's say we talk about the crime, right? It's normally the youth. It's not going to be your 50-year-old uncle there, gangster, being a gangster and stealing people's watches and bullying people and hijacking and carjacking. No, it's going to be people under 40. Yes, there was discipline. And the children don't even have respect for authority. I saw videos of them hitting their school teachers. In our days, you wouldn't dare. Because that teacher had the right to punch you in the face. Now what happens? The teacher just even says, don't do that. And your parents are there. How dare you tell my child he mustn't do it? Isn't it? Right? Isn't it? In our days, you wouldn't dare do that, because first of all, the teacher will wallop you. Then you get taken to the principal's office and there'll be more there. And then you go home. Whoo! There'll be more there. And then you go to church on Sunday and the priest will be talking from the pulpit and telling people what you did. You will not live that shame down. Hello, hi, all the new people. They will not leave you to live that shame down. No, you will be shamed and it will carry on. I mean, even up till today, when I see people from our childhood and we'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you. You were the one that had to stand in the dustbin, remember, because you pulled the girl's hair during break. Now it's not like that. So how are we going to get back to this? So this is just about the crime and because you see this discipline, this undisciplined people, the what's happening now in the townships is it will cause. That's why there's crime, because there's like no accountability, there's no respect. People just feel I want something, I take. And I'm not talking about poor people, okay? Even in my video, I said I'm talking to middle class townships, which is most, well, coloreds will all be middle class township, the old colored townships. I know now we are mixed, but still, because in townships, which ones are middle class, which ones are a bit lower class, right? Which ones are a bit up. I'm talking about middle class. So everyone has food. No one is suffering. So I'm not talking about, because they're poor. No, no, no. And that's also an excuse. I'm talking about people who have food every day. Parents have jobs. Money comes in. They go to school. All this, okay? Now we have strict children and, yes, obedient parents. That's it. It's omgedraai. Omgedraai. Okay, someone is here. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll bring you in. And I don't know how to call you because, okay, I'm bringing in a guest. I told everybody earlier on that I have this guest, but this guest is going to mainly talk to me about the other subject, which is coloreds. Oh, who's this? Someone else wants to be invited. Okay, I'm just going to invite everybody, but at the moment, everybody just, oh, that person's by mistake. Yeah. Hey, hello, hello. Hi, let me just finish this part first. Okay, so let me continue just about with this one. So that's, hi. I just want to finish this topic. I mean, you can join in if you want. Okay, then the next thing is the uncleanliness of our communities, the uncleanliness and the unkeptness and the broken things. Now, what I mean by unclean is people will say, oh, the municipality, the dustbin people, what I don't know what you'll call them anymore, they don't come, and the ANC didn't give money and that. But again, as a community, we should have pride in our community. If there's papers on the floor, if there's rubbish that shouldn't be there, it should be picked up by us. We cannot be waiting for, because it's there in your face. You know what I'm saying? And then even if things are broken in the community, why is it broken in the first place? Because somebody probably broke it, like the vandals. And then if it is broken and it can be fixed, I know in my days, some uncle will just fix it if it's like a small thing. If not, they'll be on the phone and they'll be at that office getting the people to come and fix it. Okay? And then when I talk about the chaos, is like example, the taxis. How there's no order. There isn't even a bus system. There isn't even a schedule, because even I've been in, like even in Tanzania, they have taxis, they have buses, and there's schedule. You know where to stand. And then the buses come at this time, this time, this time. You stand and then you line up. People line up properly. You get on the bus. Okay, you squashed like a sardine. But there's order. It's not like haphazard. Everything is in order. Okay? Sorry, where did Cochlean go? Yeah, okay, I'll bring you back later. I'll bring you in. Okay, so what do you people have to say about how can we fix this? Because I feel we should fix it. The community themselves must fix it. I'm bringing Clive on.
Good afternoon to you.
Hi, Clive. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, with the problem we have nowadays, I hear what you say. The problem is the government. Remember, then there was corporal punishment, which you can't do nowadays, because as jy jou hand aan 'n kind slaan, aan jou kind sit, dan word jy aangekla. So jou hande is basically afgekap. So kinders, jy kry nou daar strict children and obedient parents. So it's a problem. We too much polarize in society, and that's why there's no law and order, because everybody is just do as they please. And the only thing I can see what we needs to be fixed is we need to vote for another.
Yeah, no, I don't want, no, you see, I don't want to talk about politics because I don't want to focus on what the government is doing wrong. I want to focus on what we, the people, because you see, a lot of things the government they cannot tell you what to do about certain things. I'm talking about us, the people. I don't want to hear anything about government, ANC, BNC, blah, blah, C, whatever. I just want to know what can we as people in the community do? Like you said now, because we can't hit our children, which I agree with because hitting children doesn't make sense. I've raised my child without ever hitting him once, but he is very afraid of me because I'm an educator, I know how to reprimand just with my voice. Okay. Yeah. So how can we again instill that respect that children should have for parents and also for other elders? Because I've noticed people don't even respect older people anymore.
True. Yeah, it's not about hitting children. It's you correct. Me too. I don't hit my children just for them to become disciplined. Now you have another household. If a child do something wrong and you confront the child, the next best thing, the parent will be in your doorstep telling you 1, 2, 3. So I don't know. This is my point of view. You might as well just look at a child and do nothing because you were to be afraid to be confronted by another family because you want to discipline their children. So it's a problem. So what do we
Yeah.
need to do is I'm not sure because it's scary. And like you said, in our days, there was discipline, and you had people that slaan jou deur mekaar.
Right.
And nowadays, it can't happen. If you dare putting or shout, let's say even or reprimand another family's child, jy's in trouble. So
Yes.
it's a problem.
Yeah, this is a problem. So that is why we need to get back to that where, like I say, respect the elders. I don't say go and hit other people's children, but I mean, if you see, let's say, like the other, I remember when I was in this one place and I saw this guy, this girl, boyfriend and girlfriend, they were about 15. And she was swearing at him and shouting at him because I don't know what he did, but anyway. And of course, we were all just watching because, And then she picked up a brick and she threw it at him. And he just ducked in time, so it missed him. So I was in the water because this was on the beach. I was in the water and I started coming out. And then she came close to him and he pushed her. And just because he pushed her, everybody ran and they jumped on him like to stop him. So of
You
course,
see, that's the problem. So what do you do?
yeah, so I went in and I shouted at everybody because I told them, first of all he's trying to defend himself. That's why he pushed her away, right?
Exactly.
They didn't care that she attacked him with a brick. Everyone was just watching. And then in front of everybody, I told her off. Because, you like telling her, you cannot put your hands on another human being. It is illegal. It's against the law. It's assault. Just because it's your
Exactly.
boyfriend, you cannot do that. And then I also shouted at the people around. I said, and what about you people? You are all, because some of them are even older than me. I said, you are older than me and you are sitting here just watching and doing nothing. What if that brick had hit him in the middle of his head and he had died right there? What would have happened? Or what if he got so angry and did not just shove her, but actually walloped her there right in front of everybody? Would they, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah. What you but you know why people are scared to intervene is because die mense is so ongeskik. At the end of the day, they will attack you.
Yeah, no, I know that. I understand that. But that is why I say it has to start in the house where we teach children to respect and also so that they know what is wrong, because I think people don't even know what's wrong anymore. So that when they
Correct.
come into the street, when other people also point out to them that what they are doing is wrong, they can understand that. But I
Correct.
notice now the young people, they don't even know what is wrong anymore.
Correct.
They think carjacking is okay. I mean, my nephew, they killed him. They carjacked him. He gave them, it was him, his girlfriend, the girlfriend's sister, and their baby. They stopped the car, 4 young punks, colored punks. They said, give the car. He gave the keys. He even gave them the wallet. He even said to the girlfriends, give them the phones. He said, take everything. We got even groceries. Take the groceries. We bought 6-pack. Take. They got in the car. They drove 100 meters, reversed, took out the gun and shot him straight through his heart.
Yeah, you see, Celeste, that is, and still I'm coming back to say it's law and order. The law is too lenient nowadays, because that's why you are too scared to do anything, and that's why the other punks, they do as they please, because they know that the law is lenient. You will do murder, you will do whatever. And they know they will go out. I know a guy, he was, and I never knew he was doing that. That guy was flamboyant. That guy was blink, everything. And guess what? He, I think he's about 36 years old. That guy got 4 or 5 houses. I never knew that. All right.
Well, from stealing, is it?
So he was actually, to come and find out, he was actually a drug dealer.
Right.
And
You see now,
and
yeah, this is the other thing with the drugs, okay? Like, yeah, in our communities, again, it's happening, it can be happening in your house, and the people in the house, they complicit in it because they don't say anything and they don't do anything about it. They just leave it.
exactly.
They just leave it just to happen. You see, now
And
in my days, because my brother was, that time was just Dacha, he was like a Dacha merchant. The day my father found out about that, my father took him to the police station. My father, and he was still a minor. The police were like, oh no, because he's a minor, we can only like give him a fine and blah, blah. My father said, you will lock him up. I want him locked up. Because he was only 17, because you have to be 18. That time, I don't know what it are. Now I think it's still 18.
Still 18.
Yeah, you see, but parents won't do that. They will now be, imagine if the father had to do that, the mother will be there. Oh, you cannot take my child and want my child to be locked up. You know, that would be the thing. Wow.
Exactly. And what I wanted to tell you about this guy,
Thanks for the likes, people. Sorry,
they
okay.
caught, they caught him with this. They bust him. That guy got a lot of money in his house, lot of drugs, and guess what? He was only in custody for 2 days, and he was out, and he's still roaming around here. He's doing still what he
Okay.
doing.
So I understand you. I understand, like I said, the police, the government, I don't want to talk about them. Why
I
is he
understand.
still allowed to be roaming in your community? That's the thing. Where is
Yeah,
the community that comes together en masse? On
exactly.
mass protest against him. We don't want you here. We don't want in front of his house, marching down the street, placards, everything. Because what can he do? Well, he can get up and shoot everybody, which I'm sure he's not going to do. But where is the community? Because we had that as well. We had a rapist in our community like that also got off. This was back during the apartheid, and that's what we did. We marched him out of our town. We got him out. Because we, as in solidarity, we all, people didn't go to work that day. Everybody, we blocked all the roads so that the police can't even come in to stop us. We blocked all the cars because we only had 2 entrances. We blocked the roads because we didn't want that guy in there. And eventually him and his entire family left. We ran them out of our town. Why is that not happening anymore?
People are scared for one another because they will unalive you. If you are pimper, this is what's happening. So that's why people are scared to go and pimp Celeste and say she's doing 1, 2, 3, or Clevo is doing 1, 2, 3. People are too scared to do that because at the end of the day, you will become the victim. And the reason why you're doing that, going and tell people, hey, listen here, 1, 2, 3 is doing that, is just because you want your community to be safe. But now by doing that, you also not safe. They will unalive you, and this is what's happening. That's the problem.
So
So
basically,
still we're coming
there's
back to
nothing you
law.
can do. So when it comes to crime, there's nothing anybody can do. Okay, so crime. Okay, so what about the fact that our places are so filthy?
Yeah, people needs to clean because where I stay, they have a dumping site. Uh, is next to what they call it. It's like what they call these things. I'm not sure, but it's an upmarket place. All right,
Right.
so people go and dump rubbish there, but they stopped it because it's not looking like nice. Because this is what we do here in our community. We stop people dumping rubbish left, right, and center. So our township is not that clean as it should be, like those in the days, but it's better now. So that's
We are
what
working towards it, and like to beautify the place, like like if there's the
exactly.
how some people they don't mow their lawn, or the front part, the pavement is all messy. Do you all also ensure that
It,
people keep their space clean and tidy?
and we had here, some time ago, they built a nice park here, but us, it was hardly 3 months. All the infrastructure of the park was stolen, and they sell it most for it's most iron, and they go and sell it for drugs. And there's nobody, there's no security, there's nothing, and it's back to the municipality. There's no law and order. And
And there's nothing you can do about the municipality. The municipality doesn't want to participate. Hello? Okay, I think I lost him. Okay, right. Is there anybody else who want to add on to this? Because then I can go on to my next guest. Hi, who's there? Is that me talking?
it's James, it's Pete, and of course they did it. I saw them. The next best thing, Clivo is a target.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because I know in our
What's happening
community,
in township?
where I stay is very nice, because we are very strict, very, very strict about how the communities run. And I think it's because also there's a few policemen that live in our area. So, even if they're off duty, they do their bit, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, like I said to people earlier on, because there's this guy that I follow on, it's a colored guy, I can't remember his name. I follow him on YouTube, and he was talking about Orania. I think you'll all know Orania, this white town. And he was like he was saying that our communities must be like that. And the thing is, it's true. When it comes to white people, they know how to control their people so that their people behave. They are not afraid. They are real. I mean, you see how they are. They are not afraid. So all that I was telling him is, yeah, that's fine. Please just don't propose that we also become racially exclusive like they are, because they are whites only. We don't want that. That's apartheid. We want anyone can live in our community, but to have this, and it's not that we say white people are better. It is just that they have a sense of, and without police, okay, they have a way of controlling their people. And most of them have guns. You'll have in the family the mother, the father, the three children, everybody else. And yet they can keep the crime rate low. And they keep their community clean. And the children, the people respect each other. They respect elders, they respect each other. Whereas in our community, I mean, even I just look at how people comment, the comments they make on my
Life.
on the live, or even just in on my feeds. It's like, whose child is this that's so rude or that's talking such rubbish? It's like, what happened? In my days, if we had to talk rubbish like that, I tell you, my ma sal my warme klap gee, die snot sal 'n ring om my kop maak. My hairstyle will change. My fringe will, she'll slap, the whole fringe will go the other way. Okay, does anyone else want to say anything about this topic? Hi, London Music. Okay, we just finished the topic about, but I'm going to come back to this topic because I want to bring in my guest speaker, who is tonight going to talk about that subject that we've been talking about for a long time, about when everyone was angry when I said, coloreds, we don't know who we are. We don't know where we originate from. We don't know our history. And I said most. Remember, I even had to do it when I did the video, the live video. I explained what most means because, some of you don't like to use the dictionary. And I said we don't know our rightful place in South Africa. And then when everybody was talking in the comments back to me, it became so apparent and obvious that you really don't know where you come from, your origin, your place, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to bring him on so that he can... I won't mute you. As long as you stay on topic, I won't mute you because you know me, I got no time for people to talk about. I'm talking about peanuts and then you want to come talk
Celeste?
about... Okay. Sorry. Is that Clevo talking? Sorry, because I'm doing many things at the same time.
Yeah, were you on Vote Right platform now the other night?
On which one? No. Okay, let me bring in my guest. Can you come?
Vote Right.
I don't even know your name. Thanks, Clevo. Okay. I want to bring in the guest. You can come back again later. Sorry, I can't read from so far. Lani Bison, Bosai. Now, can you please come in and introduce yourself?
Hi, Celeste. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss this important topic on this platform. So many things that you said now are so relevant to the state of our community. The questions that you ask is the right questions. Why is it the way it is today? Why does it look the way it looks today? Why all the lawlessness? And it's a very broad topic. It's a very broad topic. But to really narrow it down, it comes back to God and people's nature of rebelliousness. Now, I know you said earlier something with regards to why are white people so, how do they have themselves so under control? Or how can they control their people? That's what you said, right? The thing with that is, with them, there's culture. They have culture. Mm-hmm. With us, we lost our culture. And we lost our sense of belonging. We lost our identity. We lost our language, our land, everything. There was another white guy that attacked you. I don't know if it's a white guy, I assume, based off what he was saying. And he was basically reiterating colonial history. The history that my mother and her parents were taught, but not the actual history of what we had to go through to get to where we are today. And they say history is written by the oppressor. So if the oppressor writes the history, he's not going to write it in a way that's going to glorify the ones who he oppresses. He's going to write it in a way that glorifies himself. You understand? Mm-hmm. And so that is why we find that we don't know where we come from, because that history, that truth was taken and it was hidden from us. I don't know how much time I have, but I'd like to go into something, how I came about this knowledge and consciousness. I was studying cultural tour guiding, and there was a white lady who was my lecturer, and we were going through the course and whatever, and there was one day came where we were asked to write an essay on our culture as colored people. So the Zulu people had their things that they were writing down, the Xhosas had their things, and I was sitting there thinking, is Easter my culture? Is Christmas my culture? Is that all there is to it? Because that is not something uniquely African. That is a global thing. So what is my culture? And this one Zulu guy, he looked at me with a smirk on his face and he was like, what are you going to write? Because he knew that I had nothing to write. And this lady who was my lecturer, she saw the distress and she called me and she asked me, who are you? And I told her my name. She says, no, I'm not asking you about your name. Who are your people and where do you come from? This was a white lady. Her name was Krista Stringer. She had nothing really to gain by doing this, but she was just opening my mind to it. And she gave me a stack of books. And one of the books was titled The First People of the Cape. I don't know who the author is, but anyway, I was living on a Red Hill in Simonstown at the time. I read that book and it brought tears to my eyes because of what our people had to endure. It brought tears to my eyes. And a lot of people will go back and forth and they will say, ah, you guys are a mixture between white and black. And no, that is not the case. When the Dutch came here, they saw beautiful women of various complexions with beautiful long flowing hair of different kinds of strands. And they settled here and they took off those women to marry. And unfortunately, some of those women were also raped.
Sorry, can you just give the race or the ethnicity or the tribe of those people? Because that's where people always confused.
So earliest history records show, if I can take you now to Pierce Cave on Ou Kaapse Weg, the people that I'm referring to is the Khoi and the San, the Bushmen. Jan van Riebeeck in his journal refers to a third group of people known as the Kaapsman, the Kaapsman. And he says that he had cooperation from the Khoi and the San, but he didn't get any cooperation from Van die Kaapsman. So the history, you got to look at it through a very special lens. You can't just go off what one historian says. You have to take a collective of information and then you need to see what repeats itself more often and what is the likelihood of that actually happening, and then you need to make your own conclusions from that. That is what these modern day historians do. They find a piece of rock that looks like a spoon and then they say that was the kitchen. But that is an assumption. It is not the they don't actually know what that particular thing was used for. They assume. So we each have to do that for ourselves to find our history, because our history was taken from us. Why was our history taken from us? So that we can have this identity crisis that we have now. And with this identity crisis, you won't be able to reclaim your land. Because you don't know where you're going to. So you can't stake a claim to anything because you don't know where you're going to. And one of the things that that colonialists did all over the world, the first thing they do is they take away your language. The very first thing they do is they take away your language. And how do they do that? Or how did they do it with us? Is when we spoke with our kliks and our kooms, they used to extract the front teeth of colored males. They used to extract, and females, they used to extract the teeth and cut open the upper lip so that it can be seen that this one is the one who violated. He spoke the forbidden language. And that is how we started speaking the oppressor's language, because we were forced to. Now, now there's a narrative that's going that we are the ones who developed Afrikaans. I beg to differ with that.
Okay.
For me,
I'm with you.
if I listen to Afrikaans and I listen to people speaking Dutch and Germanic
Manic languages, yeah.
uh, di- dialects, you can hear those words clearly in there. So I don't know if the dog is a problem.
No, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. My cat will also come here and jump around here at the back.
Okay. So to get back to your other question with regards to how do we move forward. The only way we can move forward is we must unite. We must unite as a people with strong and positive and honest leadership. And we don't have room for cowards. You find these Khoisan sects popping up all over the place. I'm a chief, she's a chief, he's a chief. When I came to this realization of Khoisanism, which was in, I would say, 2015, and I was telling people about these things, the people were looking at me like I'm crazy. They were like, there's no way. Because when I opened my eyes, I realized that I'm African. And I'm on African soil. So even though, yes, I maybe have a German grandpa or a Spanish grandma, I opened my eyes in Africa. That makes me African. And my African ancestry, I was cultivated in an African womb. So that makes me African. And the African heritage that I draw towards is the Khoisan one, because that is where we come from. But you've got these leaders popping up everywhere. They're not honest. They're popping up because they want this. Because there's money. If you are identified as a cultural leader, you get money for it. So when I was doing this back then, the people thought I was crazy, but now everybody's into it. I'm very happy for it, because it's a consciousness and it's an awakening.
Right,
It's
right.
a start. But we need positive and honest leadership. If I look at
Thanks for the
Gayton
likes, people.
McKenzie,
So,
okay?
yeah. No, I'm just thanking the people for the likes. They're liking what you're
Oh,
saying.
yes. Yes, thank you for the likes. If I look at Gayton McKenzie and if I look at Fadil Adams from the NCC, why can't we have union there? What is the problem? Why can't they come together and say, right, let's go?
Yes,
But
exactly.
but but then now it comes back to, where's your heart? Is your heart really for the people? By just listening to you, Celeste, for this few minutes, I can tell your heart is for the people. And I mean, there's no monetary gain out of doing this. You're creating awareness, so your heart is for the people. But these guys, they've kicked open the door. They've gotten inside, but now they've closed the door. But true leadership doesn't look, or true intelligent leadership doesn't look at anything but unity. And not unity in error. Because you can unite for the wrong reasons.
Wrong reasons, yeah, yeah.
But we need to unite for the right reasons. And the right reason is the future. Now, with that said, let us not prolong things and you white, I'm black, this one is Indian, that one. Let us not do that. Let us find a constructive way forward. But in order for us to do that, in order for us to unite with other ethnicity groups, we need to first unite within ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, because we are like, I'm looking at the comments here. If I just can read some of the comments for you. Like this person says, once again, I'm colored and I know my ancestry and history. But when you ask them, that's all, they will just say that. But when you ask them, so what is your ancestry? What is your history? It will be something that has got nothing to do with, like you said, Khoi, San, and Jan van Riebeck's people, which are the Dutch. It's like that is not even mentioned. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like in my other live streams, people know who follow me often. I've said that this was a tool that was used by the white man that time to strip us of our roots. Because if we don't know who we are, we cannot lay claim to anything. And the same is happening now under the new government. Because if we coloreds, we are neither here or there, again, we don't we cannot unite and have a say against what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because we're supposed to be under the BEE, but I mean, we know that's just words. When it comes to colors and Indians, so, but that is why, and even like I told even my black audience, the black people will be against us claiming that we are Khoi or San plus Dutch plus other things, but our origin is Khoi, San, Dutch. They will refuse to accept that. White people, of course, they totally refuse, as you can see by that person who wrote to me. And what I'm trying to do with the colored people is first find out who you are. You must know who you are, because when you know who you are, you have self-worth, you have self-respect, and then you know your place, especially in the political arena in South Africa.
Yes.
Like you say, look at Fadil and what's his name? Gayton. Origin, maybe with a few, because Fadil is Muslim, right? Yeah, so he's Cape Malay, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so at the root they're the same, but then he also has Javanese and Malayan ancestry. Gayton might have also black and some other thing. It doesn't matter. At the root, we are the same people. Why are you running here and you running here when we can unite and be a bigger group?
Exactly.
But we don't. But coloreds don't think like that. They just think jy het gladde hare en jou oogies is groen en jou hare is bietjie kroes en jy's bietjie wit. It's all the superficial things that they look at. And then they fight. Like, look, this one is kind of fighting with me. Once again, I'm colored and I know my ancestry and history. If you know, just tell me. Just say, yeah, I know, because no, they don't do that. Okay, let me go to, and then this other person is like, I don't know, good Khoisans. I don't know what that means. Then he says, Khoisans is not a race but a tribe. Yeah, but we're not talking about that. That's off topic. We're not talking about who's a race, who's a tribe, who came first. We're not talking about that, okay?
You see, when Van Riebeeck came here, he encountered people who were civilized. He encountered civilization here. And what the narrative is that no, these were bushmen and they were gatherers and hunters, but that wasn't the case. If you study the deep history, before Van Riebeeck came, the Portuguese were here. There was a big war. Because the Portuguese they were busy stealing children.
Right.
And they were defeated. And even before them, there was encounters with Asian people. People of Asian descent. And that is recorded in Asian history that they were here. And when they came here, they didn't come here to enslave or anything like that. They saw civilized people and they wanted to establish trade. And so they took a giraffe and they left and peace. But some of them also settled here. There was a lot of marriages and intermingling of different peoples, of different types and whatever. But when the Dutch came here, they came with the intention of claiming and invading.
Right. Yes.
So it was a war.
Right.
It was a fight for survival.
Sorry,
and
I
the
just
images
need to open
that
my
we
door. You can continue. I just need to open the door.
Yeah, so the images that we have today of the Khoi and the San were not images of them in the prime. It was images of them when they were under siege.
Right.
So there were people that went through suffering. If you look at the people in Ethiopia with those big bellies, and that is not how Ethiopian people look. That is how Ethiopian people look, that was exposed to suffering.
Right.
And so the images that we have, and that is one of the reasons why colored people don't want to gravitate towards the identity of being a bushman, because it's not Khoi.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a very materialistic mindset we don't want to be black. We'd rather be white.
Yeah, well, yeah. But like I was also
You
saying,
understand?
there's colors that you have those who identify more white, then those who identify more with their koi sunness, then there are those who identify more with their black. And then there's others like me who identify with all. I embrace all because every grandfather and grandmother and great grandfather and they all, because I'm also in a mixed marriage now. So my child is very mixed up. And I would be very heartbroken if he only had to identify with his father's side. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, who am I? I'm just here on the production line, is it? So I identify with all, whatever mix I am. And I'm fortunate I know my mix because I did. And that person who was telling me I'm talking rubbish, I had my DNA mapped in 2010 when I was at the University of New York, because they were doing research on the first human, and they especially asked for South African colored people to donate their blood because they wanted to see whether we carry the genetic Bushman gene, because you know the first Homo sapien is from the Bushman. The Bushman is the first human, and I was one of the ones who have the Bushman gene, which I always knew that because even during the apartheid, you know, when especially the black people, when they wanted to insult me, they used to say, "Hey, the Bushman." And I was quite okay with it because I always knew I was a Bushman. And now I study evolutionary biology and I study genetics. So when I talk these things, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not plucking from the air, you know, it's genes. Okay, but let me just get into some of the, like this guy said, Khoisan is not colored. Yes, Khoisan is not colored, but colored is a descendant of Khoi and San. So you got it back to front. Okay, then this one here, honest leadership. Yes, we want, because you remember you said we need honest leadership, bravery. Just hold on, I need to just, sorry. Zano, please take care of sneezing. Zano, are you here?
Yeah, Henry, that is the case here.
Sorry, I had to come. I had to do something. My cat. Sorry. Okay, then now we have here. We have dark skin Indian and light skin. Okay, I'm not talking about that. That's irrelevant. Only the light skin. Look, this person. Only the light skinned that are colored. This is what you see. I don't know if this person is colored or white or just a troll. It's probably a troll. So I'm not. I think it's a troll. So I'm not going to bother with this person. Okay.
Okay.
I'm ignoring that person. Then someone said, true, my lady. Someone said, okay, bro. No, that's the troll. Okay, Londani music didn't say anything. Oh, that person said they Khoisan. Yeah, well, we're not talking about Khoisan. We're more focused on colored people today, because what also happens is when we are talking about one thing, there will always be other people coming to hijack our conversation with their issues. Okay, our issue is the colored people. Don't come hijack with I'm Khoisan and we are from this tribe. I'm not interested in your tribe. We're interested in the colored people now, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's what they do. They'll come here and then the whole conversation becomes the history of Khoisan. We're not interested in that. On another live stream, not this one, okay? And I'm gonna mute you again if you don't stop. Sorry, I have to be a bit strict here. Otherwise, okay, this one says we are all Bushmen because we live in a forest where everything grows for free. No. You see what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that was it. Oh no, that was Ling. Okay. Yeah, no, look, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but at the end of the day, each one has a right to determine who he or she is. No one can determine for you your ethnicity.
Yes. Unless you don't
determine
do a
that.
test. Unless you don't do it, then it's in black and
look,
white.
Even if we go towards, if you look at the LGBTQ movement, if a man has the right to say, you know what, I identify as a woman, that's his right.
Yeah.
That's how he feels, that's his right. If I feel I identify as Khoisan, that is my right. Whether light skin, purple skin, green skin, whatever skin.
Yeah, because
It's your
race
right
is
to.
about the skin. I always have to tell them it's not the skin. I mean, look at me. I'm colored. This is the color
It's
of my
not the
skin.
skin. If
It's
I
not.
look at Trevor Noah,
Yeah.
Trevor Noah he's not colored. In my
No, he's
opinion,
not
he's
colored.
not
No, he's
colored.
mixed race. He's mixed race.
He's mixed race.
Yes, because
He's
he's
mixed
not.
race.
Yes, that's it.
But
Yeah.
when it
Most, but
comes
then no.
down to the where did he grow up? What is his
Yes.
upbringing? What is his
And
dialect?
yes, and what is his we spoke about the other day, what is his genetic makeup? Because he's got black mother, white father. And then he will identify more with black because he was raised by his mother. If he was probably raised with his
Exactly.
father, then he can identify as white because
Exactly.
yeah. But that's why I said
Exactly.
like me, because fortunately I was raised with
There's just something
grandparents.
about this.
We take from everybody.
Yes, but there's just something about growing up like in a place like, say, for example, Mitchell's Plain.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to another colored guy from, I think he was from Pretoria. He told me Mitchell's Plain is the factory of the coloreds, is where they make the coloreds.
Okay. Okay.
And I have to agree with him. But when I look at it, if I see another colored from Mitchell's Plain, I instantly know that this person is a colored.
Okay. Right. Yeah,
How
yeah.
how how is that? You know, if we are the way that we say we are, we this mixed yamaka masala. How is it that if I see another colored person, I know that this person's colored?
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's a means of identification. There's a way that we can tell each other out between
Yes.
in a crowd.
Yes.
And I mean, there's been cases where people have thought I'm Kosa.
Okay.
They would just walk up to me and just start speaking Kosa. But that's because we've got a very close, the colored and the, I don't want to say colored, but that's for the sake of this thing now. The colored and the Kosa people have a very close common denominator. You know, we've got
Yeah.
we was lupa lang pat sam,
Yeah.
and
But because they are also Khoi and San mix.
yes,
Yes, that's why.
yes,
So that's why, because we have
yes.
Khoi in us and that San or whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that is why there was tension between them and the Zulu people. Because of that.
Right.
Because of that they have that discrepancy. But what I would like to see, Celeste, I would like to see us unite as Africa, man.
You mean the whole
As
Africa?
yeah, I would like us
No,
as
I don't.
Africans to unite.
No, I don't. You know why? I traveled. People know because I'm a traveler. I traveled the whole West Africa, the whole East Africa. There is no way we can unite. We are too different, and everybody's tribe or cultural ties is very strong. You see, because if we unite, we're gonna have to find one common language, one common culture, and who's gonna say who has the best? Because you're talking from Egypt, okay? From
Yeah.
Egypt, East Coast. Egyptian, they have a very strong culture. Then you get the Ethiopians, that's like on another level. Then you get all the Swahili tribes,
That's the most for me, the Ethiopian culture is the most beautiful culture of Africa, in my
Yes,
opinion.
and then you have Morocco on that side. You have the Congolese. The cultures are
Yeah.
just we are
I
just
don't think I don't think I mean it in a sense that we should unite and then find the best one and then all gravitate towards that. But I'm just saying I would love to see less fighting amongst ourselves.
yes. But
That's
but
what
you
I
know why we
mean.
fight? You know why we fight? Because it's Western powers that started. Look like what
Now
happened to
we need
Ibrahim
to now
Traore.
I
Who's
would
trying to
like
kill
us
him?
what you say that again?
I said look like Ibrahim Traore. Who's trying to kill him?
Yeah.
You know who's
Yeah.
behind that. We know who was behind Gaddafi's killing.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah.
behind
For sure.
all of that. It's not us. It's
It's
not
not
us.
us, yeah.
Our leaders are also, like
But at the end of the day, what these powers do, they use these leaders' own people to eliminate them.
right.
They use their
Exactly.
own people to eliminate them. And it's very sad, you know. They made us all money hungry, you
Right.
know, and we for sale. We up for grabs. Whoever's got the most money, we there. And I just wish we could come away from that, and we could gravitate towards humanism and embracing each other as people, you know,
Yeah.
and not look at skin color.
Right.
I would
And
love for us to get to
race is
that point.
not about skin color. The skin color thing is it's a South African thing, I noticed, and an Indian thing in India, where people, like, because in Pakistan, okay, people are also all different, because, you know, because you get the people in the mountains, they're very white with the green eyes, beautiful people, the color eyes I've never seen. I don't even know what color to say their eyes are. Then you have those in the south who look like real Indians, you know, like dark skin. Then you get the ones in the middle who look more Turkish, you know, but they never talk about skin color. Never. Even when, like when my tour guide was trying to explain to me who the next tour guide was coming. Now, for me, it would have been easy if he said, okay, the next tour guide is coming. You cannot miss him. He's tall, he's very skinny, and he's dark skinned, and then he's got longish hair. He just said, oh, he's tall, skinny, and his hair's long. Like, but for me, the first thing that when he told me he's the guy, the first thing I saw is that, oh, he's dark skinned, because everybody, I'm in this village where everybody's white with blue, green, I don't know what, yellow, they look like cats, their eyes. He's like so obviously different. That didn't even cross the guy. Even I said to the tour guide, why didn't you say to me he's dark skinned? He said, oh yeah, okay. Like it didn't cross his mind to use that as a, you know, as an identifier. Yeah, but you see, with us, it's, I don't know, maybe it's because it's already so ingrained in us to see each other like
look,
that.
Look, the end of the day, it's each one is responsible for his own mindset, you know. And when we cut all of us open, it's all the same color.
Yep.
The only place where the skin tone comes into play is because of climate adaptation. That's it.
Yeah,
And so I just feel that we're too far ahead in the future to be knocking on people's doors and saying, you are this race, stand there,
right.
you are that race, stand here. There isn't enough time for that. We need to find a common ground, love each other, raise all of our children together. If I see a child in school uniform, I will reprimand that child if I catch them smoking.
Exactly.
Even though it's not my child, I will say, you are insulting that uniform, and you're destroying your lungs. What that child does with that information, but I did my part.
Right. I just want to go through, let me just go through some of the, because this is for you, through some of the comments. Okay, this one, we are all Bushmen because we live in a forest. Yeah, okay. Okay, okay, no, they're talking to each other. So if they're talking to each other, I won't. Okay, this one says, not all of Coloureds are descendants of Khoi and San. The ones that are Cape Coloureds, definitely. I think you need to go watch my other live stream, because we already been through this. It was like really very detailed, okay? Then this one, I'm Khoi San, yeah, congratulations. You need to realize that Khoisan are black, and most of black South African have higher. I'm not against color. Okay, I don't understand. Knowledge is power. Yeah, not all colors are. Arguments here, so as long as you include, okay, it's not your right to lie and say you are something you are not. Okay, I think it was when you said about if you feel you're Khoisan, then you can identify this. So this person said it is not your right to lie and say you are something you are not. Then this one said, not the skin, it's the bloodline heritage. Yes, that's right. We told this guy, you're right, JT. We spoke about this the other day. The skin color is just a feature, an inherited feature of your bloodline. It's not what makes the race. Okay, like I said, like in my family, we are 5 children, if you put us all together, we all have different color skin. Different, you wouldn't even say we are brother and sister if you're only looking at the skin. But if you look at our features, you can see uitgedruk, all Bernie se kinders. We all are Bernie and Bella se kinders, you can see. Okay? So very good. So we need to differentiate who is colored. Colored means mixed on DNA, not the skin. Yes, that's right. It's more of a DNA thing. You are very old for lying. So I don't know if they're talking to me to say I'm old and I'm lying, or they're talking to each other. But yes, I am old. Am I lying? No, I'm not lying. Sorry. I feel sorry for you that you think I'm lying, but I'll get over it. You want to say it, right? Colored is also mixed race, half white, half black. No. In South Africa, that is not colored. Even in just in general, half black, half white, you are just mixed. Colored is a unique race. This is the other thing that people always, it's a unique race. We are unique. Like, because people always ask me, are you black? Are you half black, half white? I say, no, I'm colored. Then they confuse because they don't understand that we are a unique race. Okay? You're not half black.
But we also know that the term colored is
Yeah, just a
got
made up.
nothing
Yeah, just a label.
Yeah.
So sometimes, because when people say that, like you say, like some people get offended when I use the word colored. So I just made up a word, nunus. So those people like us, we are nunus if you don't like the word colored. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's just a label, which we can change one day. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter.
Yes, but for the sake of identification, now I hear you.
Yeah, we are colored. Yeah, for the sake. Yeah, yeah.
We use it.
Because if you are in Brazil, right, they have, for their races, they have different names. Like if you're black and white, then you're mulatto. But if you are black, white, and then with this other tribe they have, then you mestizo. And then if you blue, it's like, I just smile at everybody. Hello, hello, because I don't know who's what. But yeah. Okay, AI says Khoisan ancestry discussion. Yes. Xhosa, not Xhosa. Yeah, we know. Clever boy. Hulle soek nie eers skelm wit is daar nie. Gaan maak jou kombuis skoon. So this one is, I think he's talking to me. Because whenever they talk about go to the kitchen, you know, it's these male chauvinist pigs, you know, the misogynists who, because I'm a woman, they don't want me to talk. They watch too many Andrew Tate videos.
They watch too much Andrew Tate videos.
Yeah, for me, I know you're trying to be misogynistic, but it's not going to work. Okay, you can be a sexist somewhere else. Here, it's not going to work because I'm the type that Andrew Tate will tell you not to go with because I am too manly. Okay, I'm not feminine. So when you're fighting with me, it's like you're fighting with another man. Okay, so move on.
But who still listens to Andrew Tate nowadays?
These people. Thank you for describing what is colored. I liked your example of Noah. Yeah. Even in our other videos, we always talk about Noah. He is half and half, so he's not colored. He's mixed race. But he identifies as black because he grew up with his mother. Like I say, if he grew up with his father, he would have identified as white. This is the beauty of being of mixed race. Like even when the white people were like, they will say to me, oh, but how can you say you are indigenous? Because I say I'm indigenous because I have I'm Bushman, right? I have that Bushman blood, so I can't claim that. They say you can't because you are also white. I say that's the beauty of being colored. I can also claim my European side if I want to. I can also claim my San side. I can claim my Indian side. Because I'm that type. I claim everybody because I'm not going to deny any of my grandparents. None of them. I love them all and I accept all their cultures and their races.
I hear you.
Maak die brood van die een en vis van die ander nie. Okay, jy's geen kooi nie. Listen, dis Gommy, you know, Andrew Tate's friend. Jy's geen kooi nie. Meeste coloreds is Indonesian and Chinese mix. Nee, jy's lekker verkeerd, man. Do you there? Meeste coloreds is Indonesians and Chinese mixed. No. Cape Malays are Javanese and Malayan mix. So Javanese is what is now Indonesia and Malaya is like where I am now is Malaysian. That's their mix. There's no Chinese there, okay? Chinese didn't feature. They were not worried about coming here to Africa. They coming here now. Those days they didn't. Then someone said, Zakes, be kind. Yeah, tell Zakes. Jan van Riebeeck built the colored national mosque. I don't know. Jan van Riebeeck built the colored national mosque. I don't know what that means. You are trying clock, but she doesn't believe in unity. Okay, this person says, I don't believe in unity. Why? She's far left radical racist. Mike Midnight says, I am far left radical racist. Okay, if you say so. I don't know how I can be far left radical racist. You people, you watch too many USA videos. Get off it. Leave Andrew Tate alone and leave the USA with their far right, far left, and all. Leave them alone. We're in a different country. Our way of pronouncing is not the same, okay? But a Nigerian can pronounce. You should do stand-ups, bro. Okay. You are hilarious. I know who he's talking to. Jy worry te veel oor kleur, jy is die probleem. Oh, this Okkert Grobler. Yeah, this is also he's always here on my live stream. Thanks for joining us again. Yeah, you feel I'm too much about color when we just said now it's got nothing to do with color. We just said that now. I don't know where you were. You came late to the party. You people always come late to the party and then you'll come talk rubbish. The sweets are over. There's no more cake. Cold drink is finished. You must come earlier. Then you can have nice drinks. Then Grobler is swearing here because he's upset that only 7 people are watching. It's okay, Grobler. You are also watching. As long as you're watching, I think it's good. Now it's 9. I don't know what this clock is talking that people keep saying he's talking sense. No, some color doesn't mean the mixture of 2 different species. 2 different species. What does that mean? 1 human and 1 dog, or what? What does that mean? You are my brother. Okay, now the chat is just becoming ridiculous. I want to thank, I don't even know, my guy that I was talking to just now. I really want to thank you for being on here. He disappeared already. Don't worry, Celeste. I'm one of the people that adore you for what you said. Thank you so much. Yeah, don't worry. I also don't worry when people talk like that because, you know, sometimes some people, they just, I don't know. Okay, so thank you. I don't know. What was this? He had a long name, right? Something, the end was Bison or Bison. Thank you so much for coming and talking to us about the origins. Did you people hear what he said? About the origin of colored people and the history. Did you hear that? Or you all didn't hear, because that's why some of you are still talking rubbish. He was very clear that coloreds are Khoi, San, and Dutch. Because what is Jan van Riebeck and those people that he brought here? Okay, and he was clear that some of the people there, they married our women, and some of them, they also raped them. That's why us coloreds are here now. You all got that, right? And when Cleaver was on earlier on, I'm sure you all heard him talk about what we must do in our communities to fix, like Bison said. He said when he sees a child smoking in school uniform, he'll tell them off. Which is right. You cannot just leave them to smoke. If you see someone doing something wrong in your community, you must stop them. No, the word species, go look in the dictionary what species means. Species doesn't mean black and white. Species mean animal, human, alien. Species is a just please, you have to go. It's not black and white. No. Species is not black and white. Let me put on my... Does anyone have anything else to contribute about what we spoke about today? About, first of all, about our community. What we said can be done to better our communities. And then also, I think we've had enough of the Khoi San talk, that we don't have to talk rubbish anymore, right? Henry Wilson, you don't have to talk any rubbish anymore. No, black person and a white person, they make mixed race because colored is a unique race. No, we will never unite as humans. Maybe when the aliens come, then we will all unite, because then it will be humans against aliens. That's when we will unite. But first we must unite as South Africans. And how we can unite as South Africans is everybody must know who they are. When you know who you are, then you can look at the next person and know who they are, and then you respect them and you accept them. You don't put yourself apart from them by building a little town and only you and your kind can live there. Other people cannot come and live there. Do you understand? Species. What is a species? Oh, this is Wikipedia. A species is often defined as the largest group of organisms in which any two individuals of the appropriate sexes or mating types can produce fertile offspring. Yeah, nothing to do with color. Species in biology classification comprising related organisms. Okay, that's what species is. It's not nothing to do with black and white. No race is unique. Of course, all races are unique. All races are unique. Like Chinese is unique, Indian is unique, white is unique, black is unique, colored is unique, mestizo is unique, mulatto is unique. Okay, I'm just ignoring all the rubbish talk. So if there's nothing much more to say, I'm gonna go off because there's only 6 people and then it's already 10:30. It's already 10:30. Yeah, I don't know. How old are you people and are you at school still? But you can't be because you have to be over 18 to be on my thing. Are you at school or are you at university or you never went to university? And I'm asking this because a lot of you don't, your English is not good enough because I'll say one thing and you'll talk something else. The second thing is a lot of you talk a lot of rubbish because if you had passed matric, you would know this is all very simple stuff you learned. In my days, we learned when we standard 7, that means when I was 14 years old. And then nobody has anything to say about, none of you young people have anything to say about your communities. Is it because you all live in, none of you live in the townships, you all live in the, like now, those days it used to be the white areas. So nobody here lives in the real colored township or the real black township, right? Now, matric doesn't mean you are intelligent, but it means you have knowledge. Different, you see? Even if you have matric, you would know the difference between intelligence and knowledge. It's 2 different things. So when you have matric, you will have knowledge of subjects. You might not be intelligent, but you will have the knowledge. That's why you passed matric, because if you didn't have the knowledge, you would not have passed. But then I guess with a 30% thing, who knows, right? No, certain things, biology is just biology. Facts is just fact. This person lives in the black township. Yeah, we are at the beginning. Yeah, you came late to the party. In the beginning, I already said, we are just calling it black townships and colored townships because back in the day, those places were exclusive to those races. Like if you're in Cape Town, it would be like Guguletu and Khayelitsha. If you're in Johannesburg, it could be like Soweto, Alexandra Township. If you talk about those black townships, yeah. And then what other black townships were there? Soweto and what is the other one? Mamelodi and Orlando, those kind of places. Okay, it's got nothing to do with who said. Yeah, well, I don't know the education system. I don't know, but knowledge. It doesn't matter what the education system is, but knowledge, like biology, is biology. You cannot change that. Doesn't matter what system it is. Biology is biology. English is English. Maybe geography and that they can lie about. Because when it comes to geography, they might lie about who, and even history, they will lie about who conquered who. And in geography, they will lie about the politics of that country or whatever. But when it comes to mathematics, science, biology, languages, there's no lie there. None of the STEM and none of the STEM subjects, they can't lie there. That's science, technology. What is the E for? I forgot. Mathematics. STEM, science, technology. What is the E for? I forgot. Medical is the M. Okay? No, you cannot force fake knowledge. Knowledge, you can pick up your own phone and look for it. Maybe when it comes to the, like I said, to the STEM and the STEM subjects and language, maybe they will, sorry, oh, I got hiccups now. They will leave things out. That's all. But they cannot give you misinformation because you can always just go and look. They cannot tell you men can become women and women can become men because you can go and look. It's not true because it's biology, science. No, I also have DNA of black. That's why that's how we know it's different, because I have Bushman DNA and I have black DNA. It's two different. No, you see, that's why I say you people are not educated enough. I'm sorry. How? Google is just a search engine. You can go on Google and then you go into your, like me, I used to be with NYU, okay, University of New York. I go on Google, then I search for their library, because as an alumni, I can still access the library. I go Google, then I type in the NYU library, then I go to the library. Then I open the library and I open the book that's in the library. But I'm using Google. Google is just a search engine. That's all. That's why you must look for the reputable site. So I always take my stuff from the library. It's on the internet, but it's the library. Or if I'm talking about property law, for example, I go onto the South African government's website, because that is legitimate. I'm not going to take just from Wikipedia. Or I take from AI, because AI will take all the information and put it for you. And then even after I take AI, I will still go and look again. No, the search engines were designed by Indians. Most of IT is Indian. Possible that Xhosa and Zulu have different DNA. It's possible. I don't know, because I'm not a Xhosa and I'm not a Zulu, so I wouldn't know. I didn't go for it. When I went for my DNA test, it will tell me about me. If the Xhosa DNA test is individual. Every individual is different. It doesn't matter who designed the search engine, because the search engine is just an engine. That's all. It's like a car is just a car. It's the person who drives the car that's making the actions. The car cannot go ride on its own. It's just a vehicle. That's all. Okay, I think you all are talking rubbish now, so I think I'm going to sign off. So thank you once again. What's his name that came on earlier on? What's that guy's name? I will thank him in privately. Okay, people. I don't know if you learned anything today, because you all are on some other tangent. Okay, so anyway, everybody, cheers. Have a good day.